Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Professional's Pulse. I am Farida Musaddi, the co founder and CEO of Alphateh Technologies Dubai. When we launched Alphateh, it was clear that our goal was to create a company, an organization that could be managed and operated from anywhere in the world. Uh, Whether we are traveling, whether we are on vacation, our work should not be confined to a specific location. Today, many businesses are recognizing this need for flexibility, contributing to the rise of digital nomadism. And today, we delve into a fascinating and rapidly evolving trend that is transforming the way we work and live. The rise of digital nomadism. As advancements in technology and connectivity continue to reshape our professional landscape, more individuals are embracing the freedom to work from anywhere in the world. This movement not only challenges traditional notions of the workplace but also offers unique opportunities and experiences. So, join us today as we explore the drivers behind this trend, the impact on various industries, and what the future holds for the digital nomad lifestyle. And joining us today for this wonderful talk is Dr. Himanshu Talwar. Dr. Himanshu, welcome to the Professionals Pulse, and thank you so much for being there on our show.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity. And I believe some viewers must be waiting, so I'm extremely sorry because of some weather conditions. I had to push it a little. But yes, thank you for accommodating my request and looking forward to this talk.
Absolutely, no worries at all. Um, so, Dr. Himanshu, he's a mentor, a humanitarian, a social worker. Well, these are just a few of the titles that can barely outline him, and his life is multifaceted, and he's an extraordinary personality. Having dedicated his life to serving others, he has walked many a path to give back in every possible way to the society. From counseling students, entrepreneurs, managers, to working for international establishments and non profit organizations, he has used all his skills and aptitude to transform the lives of others. No wonder people look up to him as a life coach, too. He holds a master's in business administration, and to further build upon and diversify his skill set, he studied philosophy, law, and attended the executive management program at Said Business School. University of Oxford, Indian Institute of Management, Indore, Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta, and Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. He also holds a doctorate and a Doctor of Letters degree in business management. Dr. Talwar wanted to put to use all the degrees on a roster in a very selfless way, which revolved around giving back to society and helping people from all walks of life, especially students, reach their potential and prosper. His dedication towards social causes has earned him the Indian Achievers Award 2020 for social service, Indian Excellence Award of Aspiring Author of the Year 2021, Inspirational Leaders of Asia 2022, and 40 Under 40 for social work in 2023. Recipient of 15 national level awards, Dr. Talwar has been working for international organizations and supporting not for profits, facilitating people to people contacts, and conducting training workshops for professionals on international relations, strategic management, cross cultural and corporate communications, business and corporate laws, entrepreneurship, etc., for more than a decade. A man of great versatility and eminence, Dr. Talwar has been a fervent spokesman of his beliefs, being invited as a speaker of two TEDx events in India and four TEDx events internationally in Morocco, Brazil, Russia, and Tunisia. He has addressed various national and international conferences and seminars. His speeches inspire students from diverse backgrounds to unravel their true potential, reach new heights, and write a better future for themselves. I'm sorry. Talking of writing, he also frequently writes articles for magazines, research papers, and as well as for national and international journals. And he has many case studies which are published in India and abroad to his credit. He has made a substantial impact in transforming students' approach towards their own lives by his positive influence on their skill development, his legal as well as his professional education. He's also recently published his fourth book, Land of Eternal Enchantment, India, post writing Asakti. I Asakti, right? Am I pronouncing it correctly? Okay. Too fond of you, the journey of a lost soul, and the tales of triumphs, pathways to prosperity. Dr. Talwar's personal motto is passion with profession, and he is adept at working with spirituality. His goal of eliminating poverty by ensuring proper education, guidance, and coaching to every student and leading them to live a fulfilling life reflects his true values and shows his selflessness in dedicating his brilliance to uplifting the people. So, once again, Dr. Talwar, I must say, you are an inspiration for a lot many, and I can see that your life truly revolves around uplifting students, guiding them towards the right and a better future. So, thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to hear some amazing insights from you, sir.
Well, thank you so much. Sometimes when I look back, you know, I I say that these are so many things which are there as a part of the introduction. And I, by God's grace, I've achieved something and I'm contributing it back to the society. So thank you for this introduction. I think,
Absolutely.
yeah. So
So, Dr. Talwar, to begin with, how has the concept of digital nomadism evolved, over the past decade, and what factors have contributed to its rise?
So whatever I'm going to share today is based on my experience and exposure in India and a few other countries. So, to very quickly, point one is that there was a time, especially pre-COVID or say early 2000 or say 2007, 2010, when this so-called digital nomadism was increasing, and day by day people were getting more involved and following the concept. At that point of time, or even prior to that, nomadism or digital nomadism was that somebody who's going on a 4 day leave and he's working from somewhere, right? But now it has evolved in the sense that it has become a full-time career in a way that it's not about that you're traveling or you're busy or something. You have been given a task, you're doing your duty, you have your working hours fixed, everything is there, it's same. It's just that you have the liberty to
Correct.
decide that okay, either I'll go ahead with this or either I'll go ahead with that. So that
Absolutely.
option, I believe, the so-called, with time, things evolve, careers evolve, roles evolve. Likewise, nomadism, especially the digital one, has evolved and it has become a
Correct.
full-time career. So now, if you are looking at, say, working from home or working from somewhere else, companies offer this. Like as you rightly said, that Alpha Technologies was formed that you can work from anywhere. That's the
Yes.
new word, you know where we
Absolutely.
have the freedom, where we are giving time to our friends and family, ourselves, our health, and we are not compromising anything at all when it comes to the work.
Correct. That's true. And I feel you are more productive if you are, in your own space and if you are in your own comfort zone. So I can feel that you are more productive other than that, because nowadays, many a times, traffic itself in some parts of the world is so bad. So by the time a person reaches their workplace, they are exhausted or they are not in the correct mind frame. But when you are at home, you're relaxed. So even though you may be putting in uh, as many hours as you're going there or a few hours, doesn't matter, but each of those hours is as productive.
That's absolutely correct. So if I redefine the definition, if I redefine this word productivity, productivity these days means that what you are doing is of your likeness. You like
Correct.
doing something. So whether you're doing it from home, from a village, from a town, from a mountain, from a seashore, in a cruise ship, doesn't matter, because you're
Absolutely.
giving full attention and you're dedicating yourself to your work. So productivity is equally, you comparable now these days with the areas of interest, like what I follow, passion with profession. If I'm passionate about, say, writing a book, or giving a speech, or doing an IT work or whatever, I am at home or I am anywhere else, it doesn't matter. So this
Absolutely.
productivity is directly connected these days to the areas of your interest. And that's what
Correct.
I believe companies like your good self or the other company have realized, that give the work which the other person likes, right? If he's doing the work of his likeness, irrespective of where he or she is, they will give their 100%. So I think that's the new
That's
order,
true.
the new, that's how this nomadism has evolved, and where we are moving towards
Correct.
is more productive human resource.
So, according to you, what impact has this kind of a work technique had on the traditional office culture and the employee expectations? Because I myself know some people who are still, who follow the traditional norms. So they feel that work happens only when you come to office, and they do not believe in this remote work concept. What is your take on that?
See, I don't know whether I put it, I would say it's fortunate or unfortunate, but there are people who have this traditional mindset. They are not wrong. They are right on their part. They believe that if somebody is present, he or she is in front of them or sitting in the office and working hard, that means they are productive. On the other hand, with the technology, see what is digital nomadism? We are connecting nomadism to the digital era. So digital means wherever you are, it hardly matters. You are present.
Absolutely.
You're just
Absolutely.
like 5 seconds or 10 seconds call away. You can log in and you can check whether he's available, not
Correct.
available. You have softwares which are tracking whether your laptop is on or off. Whether you're working or not working. And if you have 8 hours and you've finished your work in 2 hours, and 6 hours you are there available but not working, it hardly matters because the task assigned has been completed. So
Agree.
traditional people, they'll follow the traditional approach. They believe that somebody will come, let them follow. I think with time, when their second generation will come, or they will see the new managers and new employees coming in, doing 5 times of work in half of the time from home, then one fine day they'll realize that okay, having an office is important, having a setup is important, but that is not mandatory or necessary.
Correct.
If your digital infrastructure is strong, digitally you are a company which is seen, which can be tracked, which is available. That is more important. Not having like a large office or a building to run your operations. So I think these both the things will go hand in glove. They'll be there. They will remain there forever because people who
Correct.
believe that if you come to the office you are working, you can't change. They'll follow their rules. But yes, it'll evolve, it will change, I'm sure.
Yes. Yeah, I think most of them like are now adapting. I think post COVID that there has been a tremendous change in people, but as you say, everywhere you'll find people who are always against the change and they would not be willing to adapt to the new situation. So with so much of flexibility, unless the situation forces them to go into such a kind of a
Yeah.
concept.
I'll give you a very quick example which I sometimes share in my lectures and training programs. So there are two kind of bikes. One is a bicycle and one is a motorbike, right? I start my motorbike and I go to the gym. I spend 45 minutes there and come back on my motorbike, right? On the other hand, there is a guy who will drive his bicycle for 20 minutes to reach a place, do the exercise, some basic exercise to a park or somewhere else, and then take the same bicycle back, right? So amount of calories burned are more or less same.
Correct.
The route, the path or the automobile or the source or your whatever you have taken, the travel time is different.
Absolutely, I
So
agree.
it's the approach that I believe that I'll go on a motorbike, I'll do my exercise in an air-conditioned gym, right? On the other hand, I am a traditional kind of a guy. I believe if I'll drive a bicycle, I'll burn more calories and spend time with nature. The
Yes,
approach, nobody's wrong, right?
correct.
Both of them are
Everybody
right.
is,
Exactly.
yes,
So that's what this so-called digital world is about. I
correct,
believe in moving to IT, and the other guy thinks no, IT is important, but not that you are sitting at home.
correct.
It's an approach.
So, how do companies, adapt so as to support this kind of a remote workforce, particularly those employees who choose to work while traveling? What kind of changes at an organization level do you need to have? As you mentioned, that of course there are softwares which keep a track, or you can check. So, what are the things that need to be enforced at an organization level?
You know, what happens is that when you accept or you become more adaptive to a technology, you try to bring in the changes very fast, which is wrong.
Yes.
We must understand that, for example, if I own a company or I am a manager or I'm a president, vice president, I have 50 employees working for me, right? 10 are in their 20s, 20 are in their 30s, and rest 20 are in their 40s and 50s. Bringing all of them on a same platform overnight is impossible, right? Because these young chaps, they're more versed with the technology, they understand the softwares. On the other hand, somebody who's in his 50s, they have more experience how to tackle the
Absolutely.
issues, how to manage the conflicts, how to manage paperwork, and a lot of other stuff, right?
Correct.
So everybody is required. That is one. Therefore, everybody should not be forced to follow the same pattern. So the companies which are looking at hiring the so-called digital nomads, they should do it step by step. That they develop the basic infrastructure, then the digital infrastructure, then introduction of softwares, and the most important thing is parallelly organizing, supporting the employees with regular training programs. That if
Okay.
I'm introducing a software, I must run a first week, 10 days, 15 days training program for everybody. So, for
Correct.
example, somebody who is good at computation or taxation, and
Yeah.
irrespective of the age, he will pick up, she will pick up because she understands numbers. It's just the software
Correct.
she needs training, right? On the other hand, somebody is good at legal, or somebody is good at marketing, or somebody is
Yeah.
good at something else, operations. So they'll pick up their stuff, right?
Correct.
So maybe I'll probably pick up in taxation, I'll probably pick up only 30%, but in operations, I'll probably pick up 70%. So I'll improve.
Absolutely.
So that means my operations are improving. On the other hand,
Correct.
the tax guy, his operations are also improving, but from the tax perspective.
Correct.
So the most important thing I believe is uniting people in a way that nobody is more knowledgeable than nobody is comes from say
Yes.
80s or 90s and he or she doesn't know anything. Everyone knows everything. It's just that the new way of working, the work is more or less same. And then
Correct.
you take help of the so-called digitization of the economy or the company.
So, one thing that I wanted to ask you, many people say that sales uh, cannot happen with virtual meetings. You need to go there, you need to visit the person, you need to be there in front of them one on one. So, what, in your opinion, does it matter that when you go there to a client's office, to a customer's, or the customer visits you, does it make much of a difference or a drastic difference as compared to having an e-meet or a virtual meet?
Now, I'll sorry. So I look at it from the product and service perspective. For
Okay.
example, if I need a product, a
Yeah.
pen or a car or a computer, whatever, I want to see that. I want to
Correct.
experience that. And in order to experience that, I have to be there somewhere to go and
Absolutely.
experience that. Sorry. But however, if I'm looking for a service, for example, I need a best software. I need some apps to be used. Now, I will not go to the company who have designed the app. I'll download
Correct.
the app and I'll use it, right? So if
Correct.
I'm taking a service and it's a digital service, then obviously it will remain there forever. However, if I'm buying a product and for example, I bought like lately I bought new pair of shoes,
Yes.
say Nike or Adidas, whatever brand. Okay, I am a regular buyer of Nike. I know that okay, X size fits me, X color is best and everything. I can order online, no problem, because I have been continuously using that product, right?
Correct.
But if I'm using it for the very first time, then I'll probably go to the showroom or to the shop and see and experience it and then buy it. Same
Absolutely.
thing is with the digital nomadism, right? A lot of
Yes.
people, for example, you can't allow 100% of the people to go and become a digital nomad in your company because
That's true.
half of them they really don't know what digital nomadism is.
Correct.
Hi, sorry. You know the internet thing. Yes. So if it is a product or if it is a service and you have 100 people working for you, not everyone will use or experience the same thing in the same way. So that's
Correct.
the point, right? You cannot put all the baskets, all the eggs in one basket. You have
True.
to think from a different level that okay, these 50 employees or 20 employees, even if I give them digital access to everything, they won't be productive. They won't be able to work because they need an office space to come and sit and work. On the other hand, there are 50 employees who are dying to, go for a typical 9 to 5 job, but online. They don't want to come to the company. So that
Yes.
makes the role of the top management, the middle management, very important.
Very
That
important.
how
Yes.
much you understand your employees, how much you understand your
Correct.
work, your clients. So that's again,
Absolutely.
it will remain there. Nothing is going anywhere.
Yes. And as you correctly said, that it has to be done in phases. You can't just one fine day. There would be first level of infrastructure, then the digital infrastructure, then the softwares, again the training part of it, creating a backup. So all of that has to be implemented in a particular process, in a format. It cannot be done just abruptly. So I think that makes the difference. And again, I completely agree that this is where the top management or the senior management will have to play a very important and crucial role, so as to enforce these changes properly amongst all the employees.
That's right.
Yes.
That's the idea.
uh, Correct, that's true. So as of now, I think because you also talk a lot about travel, because I had read that on your LinkedIn profile that you're also a travel expert. So what are the some of the most popular destinations for digital nomads these days, and what is the reason that these locations attract remote workers?
So India, if I first I'll give you an example of India. India country, it's a big country. So we on north we have mountains, we have hills. In the south we have seashore, we have jungles, we have a lot of good places. In the northeast we have beautiful destinations, and in the west
Absolutely.
also we have beautiful seashore and sea line. Now, what I saw and experienced in last 4 5 years that people who always wanted to spend time near to the sea, for example. So the North Indians, they decided rather than going to mountains, they moved to places like Goa, Kerala, Karnataka, which are down south, and
Correct.
they leased the properties for six months, and they were working from there. So they wanted to
Okay.
always experience that. So they did that. And honestly, their productivity doubled because they were at a place where they were happy. They
They were
always
happy.
wanted to live there, right? Now, this so-called digital world, they give them the opportunity. On the other hand, a lot of people from say west or down south who have not experienced snow too much or maybe mountains, though we have mountains in the south also, but not like the north one. So
Correct.
I met one of them who moved to north, who wanted to spend time there. So they were in favorite places like Shimla, Masuri, and other places. Some decide to go to
Absolutely.
northeast, some in the west. So that was like a real experience. And not only that, if I'm talking about East Asia, not Southeast, the entire East Asia, a lot of people move to places like uh, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia. Bali was like a destination where, because traveling was involved, I agree. The cost was a little on the higher side, but staying there was rather cheaper than staying here in India. So they signed up for 3 months to 6 months and then they went there. And again, productivity was far, far, far better. Now I have friends in Europe, in UK. So some wanted to spend time in different countries. So some of my friends from the UK, they moved to Portugal. They wanted to spend
Okay.
time in Portugal. Some like apart from say South America, which is quite far from places like a lot of travel is
Yes.
involved. But a lot of people move to different countries. People, Morocco, I have friends in Morocco. They were living in France for a while, so they decided to come back. They were second generation living in France. So they
Correct.
moved to Morocco to spend time there, their own country. South Africa saw like, especially places like Durban, Johannesburg, they saw a hike like anything. So these Maldives, Sri Lanka, which are like nearby to India, Mauritius, it actually helped a lot of countries in growing in the sense that economy started growing. Tourism helped them in terms of developing new infrastructure, and also it helped them in revolutionizing their way of working. You know,
Correct.
a lot of hotels came up, a lot of locals got jobs actually.
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, there are certain things which are on the negative side, although in the sense that they have not seen so much of people traveling to the places. So some of them are not ready to handle the crowd,
Yeah.
offering them best of the best services. But I think most of the destinations did well, and they have done really well in the sense that they
Correct.
accommodated for people and gave them a real experience of different country and region.
Yeah.
So from the travel perspective, it was a hit. Everyone liked it like anything.
And I think also when cross country, when you meet people from different countries, uh, you get exposed to so many new ideas as well, when you communicate. Like Dubai is a place which is like it's a global hub. We meet people from so many countries who are coming here, and I think again a very popular destination in the Middle East for a digital nomad. So we meet people from different countries, share ideas, and that actually gives you an experience. Sometimes you come across certain thoughts. So I think yes, it really helps in a lot many ways. It's not just from the employee and the employer's perspective, but as you said, for the country, for the locals out there, in terms of the tourism, businesses, everything gets elevated.
I believe that say if your economy is for say 100,000 US dollars, so say around maybe say 10,000 or 20,000 new US dollars, in the sense that 20% economy, a new economy has been introduced. That there are
Correct.
people, there was a place, a barren land or a forest or whatever, and all of a sudden people saw an increase in people traveling and staying there. So it helped a lot of economies to develop. For example, Dubai is all developed, right? UAE is all developed, best of the best infrastructure and everything. Post COVID, Dubai also saw millions of tourists traveling, right?
Yes.
Because of the experience, because of safety, security, cleanliness, connectivity, right?
Correct.
Sure, in some areas of the Middle East, maybe Dubai or Abu Dhabi, other places, people were not ready to handle so much of tourists. It happened in a lot of countries in Europe. A lot of people there, like Netherlands, Poland, they were like, "What? I can't, because it's way too difficult."
Correct. That's true.
Yeah.
So, according to you, what legal or logistical challenges do digital nomads face when working from different countries, and how can these issues be navigated?
Sorry, can you come up with the question? I think some internet issue is there.
Okay, so I was asking that in these cases, we are right now talking about, of course, all the benefits, but there are issues as well. So, what kind of legal or logistical challenges do these digital nomads face, and when they are working from different countries, and how does one overcome those issues?
Ma'am, nobody is right or wrong here. We have to accept and understand that there is a law attached to the land. For example, if I am from next country and I'm working in my country and I'm living and doing everything, but I'm not paying taxes there, right? I'm making an income, I'm doing a lot of business and everything. But because I come from the so-called digital side of it, I'm not paying taxes. Now, morally and ethically, it's wrong that I am employed by a country in X and I'm living and staying in country Y. So I am not paying taxes in country X also and country Y also. Because in country X I'm saying I'm outside, and country Y I'm saying I'm a citizen of that country. So morally and ethically wrong, it's wrong. And I'm sure in some countries legally also it's wrong, because what you are doing is that you are crossing the boundaries from one area to other area. Law is different, taxation is different, their way of working is different. Maybe in say example, in India I have X amount attached to my internet cost, right? On the other hand, in some other country the cost is hardly 10% because they have all the digital
Or
infrastructure.
rates,
I'm
correct?
saving a lot of money there, but whether I'm paying taxes or not, it's a question.
Yes.
Legally, morally, ethically, and taxation wise, I believe if you're a digital nomad, you must think twice that if you're working in different countries. So please, I mean, you should announce and share this with your organization and with the company and the country that you are in a different zone, time zone, and different legal and taxation infrastructure. So that's very important. Rest is, I mean, it's up to the person, but yes, I believe one should announce
More
and share.
ethical, yes. Yeah,
Yes,
that's your
yes.
ethics.
These are business ethics. Yes.
Yes, yes. True, true, agree. And how does, the digital nomadism impact, we talked about, of course, the local economy and the communities where they live, but how exactly? One way is, of course, tourism, but what other ways do you feel will it impact the local communities when we have digital nomads staying? I also know that I think Goa is a popular destination for US and UK. So how does the local community get affected in a positive or in a negative way as well?
No, I think to an extent I answered this question, but yes, if I elaborate it, we must understand that if all of a sudden if I'm moving somewhere and started making money, people, their way of working, their lifestyle. For example, if you're living in mountains, so people usually go to bed, say 6:30, 7:30 in the evening. But you are a digital guy, or you are a team of digital people. You're carrying your sound systems, or you're carrying your laptops. You're working overnight. You are disturbing, in a way, disturbing the ecological balance of that area. You don't understand how they have been living. Just because you are paying them doesn't mean that you take the liberty to disturb the ecological side of it. So for example, waste management is something which has come up in a big way. So I am from a town where 500 people used to live. All of a sudden we have 300 more people living there, and they are, because they think that they are a traveler or a tourist, they are there just for 6 months or 3 months. They sometimes, not every time, some are educated, but sometimes they mistook it and misused this liberty. So there are good people, bad people. It depends on the individual. But yes, if I talk about economy and the GDP or the growth of that particular area, it is booming for sure. It is there.
Absolutely.
So that help, the kind of employment which these digital nomads are generating is something which is, there's no comparison. Without any development of too much of infrastructure and something, just with the access of a laptop and internet and few other services, you're contributing a lot. People are thankful. Yes.
So I think the one thing that one needs to keep in mind as a digital nomad, number one, you are getting the flexibility to work remotely from your organization, but secondly, ethically wherever you stay. I think it's your moral responsibility to follow the laws of the land. It's not just that you are having the liberty and you misuse the liberty. So I think that is one thing that has to be taken care of by every individual. And that's how I think once that will happen, I believe more organizations would be willing to enforce this kind of a work culture. Because, yes, I think right now there's also the scare of people doing dual jobs because you cannot keep track of them. And that has been happening time and again.
All of a
So,
sudden, people they themselves have taken the liberty to pick up multiple jobs, which is wrong.
yes, yes,
If a company is allowing you to go and follow the so-called digital nomadism, that doesn't mean that you misuse that. That
yes,
okay, 3 hours you're working for someone else, 4 hours. No, that's wrong. So again, morally and ethically, it's wrong.
correct, correct. Um, so, lastly, Dr. Himanshu, what advice would you give to someone who's considering to go in for a digital nomad lifestyle, and how can they prepare for such a kind of transition? Let's say there's an individual who wants to travel, maybe the organization at this point of time uh, maybe in an intermediate state. So how can one approach, how can one plan this entire thing, because it's a big step. You're not going for 10 days or a week, you're going for months, especially if you have a family also. So how does one prepare this entire thing, and how does one take that step?
See, step one is very clear that if we are going for the so-called digital nomadism, please ensure and be very sure that whatever you are going to do is the kind of job is of your likeness. Don't just accept an option. If your company is saying, okay, go ahead and do it, you think that probably if you'll shift to some other state or other country or other place, you will perform. No, that's not possible, not with everybody. So if you
Correct.
are traveling, if you've decided, be very sure that whatever you are doing, whatever you are planning, it should be of your likeness, that you will spend time, you will give time. It's the like kind of the nature of work is that you like that work. You like doing that work. So even if you have to spend 5 hours or 10 hours, doesn't matter, but you will spend
Absolutely.
that time, right? And
Absolutely.
second, the people who are okay with accepting it, I suggest that it's a digital nomadism. So please ensure that digitally you are strong in the sense that you have knowledge of IT. You don't have to be an engineer to become a digital nomad. You need to have knowledge of the softwares which are required to do your work, the apps
Yes.
which are required to finish your task proficiently. So please
Correct.
ensure that it is digital nomadism. It is all digital. So if you are not using the digital format of it, that means what you are doing is not of your interest. So at the end of the day, you will fail. And third, and the
Absolutely.
most important thing is that if you're joining an organization, please thoroughly study what the organization's its ethics, its mission, and its vision. So if you're joining an organization and the work is of your likeness, however, the mission of the organization is that they want you to form a team after 3 months or 6 months. You're going for a managerial role and you have decided to go for the so-called digital work. You'll have to hire people online. So, are you capable of one, hiring right people, right, making the right team? Second, most important is getting the work done. All
Correct.
of us are connected. It is not about me doing the everything. Oh, I'm a digital nomad, I can do everything. No, that is one side of it. The other side of it is that you're working with people who are living in different time zones, different countries, or maybe within your country also, right? Some people are more active in night who are digitally active. Some people are more productive in night. Some people are more productive in the afternoon, some in the morning. So please ensure that you pick up right skills, read your job description properly, and study the mission and vision of the company, what exactly they want from you. These are my final inputs.
Lovely. Dr. Imanshu, thank you so much for this enlightening session and giving us complete insights on what the concept of a digital nomadism is. And I loved the idea that you did not only talk about the positive things of, being free and having that kind of liberty, but as you correctly mentioned about the taxation, something which is a very valid point, that I'm not paying tax of the country that I'm staying in, and I'm not paying tax of the country from where I'm drawing the salary, because I'm not staying there. So these are very small points, but they have to be considered. And I think, as times are changing, as more organizations are adapting to this kind of a work culture, I think these things would also be taken care of, so as to ensure a more streamlined process. So thank you so much for sharing these amazing insights with all of us.
My pleasure, ma'am. My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for this opportunity. It's always good to interact with the people who understand the value of the digital world. And I
Correct.
believe your company, I'm sure it must be doing an exceptionally good job. One, obviously, doing jobs. Second is providing jobs, and third is the opportunity, especially the above all, the opportunity for people to understand the nitty gritties of the so-called current world, as in what we
Absolutely.
want, what we need right now, and what our next 20, 30 years are going to be. So if you're
Correct.
not a digital nomad, that means you're missing something. You never know. All of a sudden, probably you'll have to shift to the digital side of the business over. So be ready,
We agree.
be accommodating, be acceptable to something which is the future. That's the thing. So thank you. Thank you once again. Thank you for the opportunity. It was lovely interacting with you. And I'm sure people will, they must have got something new from my end.
Absolutely, I agree. So, once again, thank you everyone for joining us on this episode of the Professionals Pulse. And as we explored on the topic of digital nomadism, we hope you found our discussion insightful and inspiring. And as the world of work continues to evolve, embracing flexibility and new opportunities becomes even more important. So, stay tuned for more upcoming episodes where we'll continue to bring your valuable insights from leading experts. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Thank you, everyone, once again. Have a nice day.